Welcome to Mrs. Kmak's virtual back-to-school video. I'm so glad you're here. I have the honor of teaching language arts and social studies to all the fourth graders at La Mesa Arts Academy. Fourth graders are very much children developmentally, and I like to incorporate humor and play into my teaching as much as possible. The curriculum in fourth grade requires the students to think and analyze in a much deeper way than they did in the earlier grades. Fourth graders are required to think deeply and make connections while they are reading. They learn how to write with clarity and structure. They can even do some research on their own or with just a little bit of guidance. For my curriculum this year, I will be using a combination of the district-approved Wonders curriculum, fourth grade, as well as things that I have found over the years that work really well with 9 and 10-year-olds. Motivating, fun, and educational. This year, the students get to learn about California history. We're going to start off with some map skills. They're going to learn about the Native Americans of California, about the explorers of California, about Mexico and Spain's influence in California, and finally, we'll learn about the gold rush and how California became a state. California history is in your own backyard. Look, Matatis. I found these in La Mesa. The social studies program that we're going to use is called Studies Weekly. They have an online program that includes worksheets and tests, and they also have these little newspapers that I can send home. So if you don't want your child to read online all the time, they can read it from the little newspaper. They can keep the newspaper, they can write in it. Sometimes there's crossword puzzles and things in there too for them to do. On the weekends, I will send you an email through Jupiter. It will include a schedule of work I will be giving the students in the upcoming week. Feel free to email me with any questions. You are never bugging me. I am here for you. I will be meeting with the students on Zoom, and then I will tell them to go to Google Classroom to access any of their work. Even if their work is on a different website, the link for that website will be in their Google Classroom. So they will be going in their Google Classroom every day. For distance learning, I would like the students to have a notebook with lined paper, any sort of lines, college or wide ruled is fine, pens or pencils, and a highlighter. I'd like them to get their device ready, so their Chromebook, computer, whatever they're working on ready, and be sitting someplace so they can have their notebook open with a pen or pencil and a highlighter ready to go during our Zoom meetings. Each trimester, the students and I will be reading a book together. The first book we're going to read is The Tale of Despero by Kate DeCamillo. It's an amazing book. I love it so much. I have a book for each student so they don't have to read it online and you don't have to get the book yourself. You're going to come to school, you can check out the book and just make sure you take care of it and return it when you're done, but I have one for every student. Also, every trimester, the students will be memorizing and reciting a poem in front of their peers. The first poem we're going to start with is Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. I'll be sending the poem home and I'll be telling the students how they can recite that poem for everyone, even though everyone's home on virtual learning. I found out a way and it's awesome. The students will all be in an advisory class. That's the class on Monday. And in each advisory class, we'll be going over different things. Some of them will have to do with social emotional learning. Some of them will have to do with etiquette. The first two will have to do with how to email someone on campus and also how to attend a Zoom meeting. There'll be something for the parents and the student to sign at the end of the Zoom meeting one, and then the students will be turning that back into me. The fourth graders are grouped into 3 cores. We call them A core, B core, and C core. Right now in distance learning, it doesn't matter quite so much, but when we get back into school, we refer to them a lot by core. So A core starts with me, B core starts with Mr. Macri's, and C core will start with their foundations class once we get back to school. You'll see those letters a lot, so I wanted you to know what they mean. You could find out a lot more about the class and how I run things on my syllabus, which I will include in the students' Google Classroom, as well as I will send it home to the parents on Jupiter. This is a picture of my family. Mr. Kmak is all the way on the left. He works over at Fletcher Hills Elementary School, and he gives music lessons. He's a great musician, plays with a lot of bands. If you want to take bass lessons, he's the guy for you. My daughter Charlotte next to him, she's in college, but she'll be home doing her virtual learning from the house. My son Zach, He's all out of the house now, has his own job. He graduated from UCSD with a physics degree. Don't ask me how that happened. And of course, there's Chewbacca, our Uncle Chewie. This was a picture from a couple of years ago. We sent it out as a Christmas card. Yep, we went to the zoo dressed like that. Distance learning isn't what we expected or even wanted, but I'm ready to take on the challenge. My wish is for the students to enjoy school in whatever form it takes this year. It'll be my pleasure to watch them learn and grow, even if it's from my desktop computer. And just like Emily Dickinson's poem, Hope is the Thing with Feathers, I'm keeping hope alive in my heart that I'll be with the students sooner rather than later.